you do have arcs as well. And with the arcs, you have, say, for example, a circle. Circle is pretty simple. You specify a center point, and then you specify the radius. 1800 as my radius. So now, if I want to move that circle, I can move this line here, since it's snapped. And then I can change the radius if I want to. Let's see, what else do we have? Arc between points, that's also a good one. So let me draw a line. Okay, so I'll do something like this, and then I'll do the arc between elements. Click on that one. And so say, for example, I wanted to do a 300-foot radius, so I could go to here, type in 300, and then click on the box. And that'll place, you'll notice that it kind of, there's 2 points here, right? And so that's based off of the center. But you probably have 4, right? So the outside, this one, the inside, and then the bigger circle here. So let's say I draw that one in here. And obviously you can come back and make changes to this as well. And it'll remember that these are snapped here too. So if you want to move stuff over, it'll move stuff. The difference here though is if you move these lines later, it's not I mean, it looked kind of like it was tangent, but it actually, you know, it was kind of just more aesthetics, right? It wasn't actually trying to stay tangent. So the moment you move this line through or you move this over like this, it'll keep 300 and it'll keep the snaps. But that's kind of the constraints that we've put on this arc by using this tool, right? So if we wanted to hold a tangent like we normally would for like a roadway alignment, then you don't want to use the arc between points. You want to instead use the arc between elements and then the simple arc. And honestly, the line between points and the simple arc will probably get about 80% of your work done. And so for this one, notice it's asking for the first element to remain tangent to, then the second element to remain tangent to, and then notice that there's several different options here based off of these yellow dashed lines, which stand for the reference for this arc. Say I want to say 300 again, so I'll type in 300, hit enter, and it'll lock it. And now you can left click anywhere based off of the curve that you want. And then you also have the option to trim. So this is pretty neat, because then with this one you don't have to go back and run another tool to extend to element or to trim back to element, right? And so now really the only option you have here is the radius, or moving that around. So say I do 450, not only will it increase the radius here, it'll also trim back, right? And in this trimming, you can kind of remember it, you know, that the computer remembers what the original length of the line was, right? You also can get kind of issues if, like, say for example, the line is too small. It'll still remember that the line is there, and it'll connect to the tangent. Something I do, but it'll still remember that the line is there. So if you get to a point where it's too big sometimes, then it'll kind of red dash itself out if there's a geometric impossibility that you're trying to build here. Because you have 2 lines here. There is the reverse curve here, I believe is by tangent. And so you select the 2 tangent elements, your start point, your other one, and it'll create that reverse curve. So I thought that was pretty neat, because that way, I don't know, I guess for this particular situation, you don't really want to use the simple, or I guess the simple arc between element kind of becomes a little difficult to manage if you want to really optimize this reverse type of curve. And so Yeah, I don't know. I thought it was a really neat tool, and I see the arc between elements here will only give you the radius, but with this one you get several different inputs, and you can go over here into the properties tool, and you can select the start offset, end offset, the back ahead radius. So you have a little bit more complexity, but it gives you more control. So I thought that was pretty neat.